Wishbone, funny bone, and a backbone. You got to have all
Think about
three of
that.
those.
Your wishbone, your funny bone, and then a backbone. You
Yeah.
have those three things.
Yeah.
Great little.
At 70 years old, country music superstar Reba McEntire has finally spoken out about the longtime rumors surrounding her relationship with country crooner Bill Anderson. For decades, fans and insiders alike have speculated, but now McEntire is setting the record straight, opening up about what really happened between the two stars. What did she say? Join us to find out. The Many Lives of Reba. Reba McEntire's defining characteristic is not just her lovely and recognizable voice, but her talent for constantly evolving. She is not content to remain stagnant or stick to the same musical style for her entire career. Instead, she always seeks out new ways to develop and captivate her audience, making each phase of her life an exciting and fresh experience for her fans. Even at the age of 70, while most artists are fading into mere nostalgia, Reba remains a powerful presence in culture. She is not seen as just a relic of the past, but as someone who still holds significance in the present. This enduring impact was not a random occurrence, but the result of years of strategic reinvention, staying current while staying true to herself. Her journey of transformation commenced as soon as she arrived in Nashville. The decades of the late 1970s and early 1980s saw a transformation in the country music scene. While the classic honky-tonk sound still had its devoted followers, a new wave of artists with mainstream appeal, such as Barbara Mandrell, was starting to dominate the charts with their polished appearance and pop-influenced music. In her early days, Reba was frequently contrasted with others. However, she soon realized that mimicking someone else's journey was not the key to success. Instead, she embraced her unique qualities. Her roots in Oklahoma and experience in rodeo were not just intriguing details for the media. They became integral components of her identity as a performer. She wore her personal narrative with pride, and this authenticity was evident in her musical expression. Her music reflected the raw authenticity and resilience of country living. This resonated with her audience, who appreciated genuine artistry over imitation. Reba stayed true to herself, distinguishing herself in the music industry and avoiding getting swept up in fleeting fads or styles. Around the mid-1980s, a shift occurred in Reba's public image. She moved away from being solely identified as a cowgirl with traditional values. Instead, she started infusing her music with a different kind of passion. Her vocal delivery became more emotional and powerful. She delved into themes of heartache, romance, and yearning in a way that resonated with listeners on a profound level. Tracks like Whoever's in New England,
You spend an awful lot of time in Massachusetts.
showcased her not only as a strong figure, but also someone capable of conveying vulnerability and creating dramatic moments. Reba transformed into someone new. She boldly displayed her innermost emotions through her music on a global scale. Both critics and fans started recognizing her as the ruling figure of country music. Despite not declaring herself as such, her commanding presence and influence made it undeniable. In a male-dominated field, her voice was impossible to overlook. This evolution was not about abandoning her origins, but rather about entering a larger platform with the self-assurance she had built. In the 1990s, Reba made a daring transformation to her concert performances. Unlike traditional country shows with just a singer, band, and basic backdrop, Reba elevated her concerts to a whole new level. Her shows became elaborate productions featuring costume changes, mesmerizing lighting, and performances that resembled theatrical scenes. She didn't simply perform a song. She conveyed a narrative through every note, gesture, and facial expression. Audience members departed her concerts not only recalling the music, but also holding on to unforgettable memories. She revolutionized the concept of a country music performance, proving that dramatic flair belonged in the genre. At the same time, she entered the world of television, gaining popularity with her sitcom, Reba. The show appealed to a wide audience beyond just country music fans. On television, she showcased her likable personality, humor, and genuine charm. People who became fans of her through TV were pleasantly surprised to learn about her successful music career. Reba managed to transform herself once again, this time entering a new realm gracefully and authentically, without pretending. The music industry faced new obstacles in the 2000s and 2010s due to the emergence of digital platforms and social media. Many seasoned musicians found it difficult to adapt to these changes, but Reba was not one of them. Instead, she embraced the new methods of engaging with her fans, utilizing social media in a sincere and humorous manner to communicate directly with her followers. A new wave of young people, who may only have heard about her from their parents, were now being introduced to her through Instagram, short videos, and online projects. Concurrently, she started teaming up with up-and-coming talents, connecting different age groups. Rather than holding on to tradition, she fearlessly embraced what lay ahead. Throughout the various changes she experienced, there was one thing that remained constant: her ability to bounce back from adversity. Adapting to new circumstances is always challenging. Despite the public admiration and success, she also dealt with personal struggles and difficulties. How did she overcome these struggles? Stay with us. Reba's silent battles. Reba McEntire's public image has always been filled with brightness, yet hidden within her success are challenges and hardships that have influenced her path. Despite encountering devastating losses and heartbreaks that may have stopped others in their tracks, she managed to persevere and continue on, even in times of great emotional pain. During the tour for her 1990 album, a devastating incident occurred in 1991. One of her band's charter planes crashed in San Diego, California on March 16th, resulting in the tragic loss of 8 band members, the pilot and co-pilot. These individuals were not just colleagues but cherished family members to her. Some had been supporting her for years, standing by her through performances, joy, and aspirations. The abrupt loss of all of them at once left Reba completely heartbroken. She felt as though a part of her very being had been ripped away. However, only a few days afterward, she made an appearance at the 63rd Academy Awards on March 25th. Despite the sadness lingering in her heart, she sang her nominated Best Original Song. This instance exhibited her resilience even during her internal turmoil. In the following months, she channeled her sorrow into her music. Introducing her 16th album, For My Broken Heart, in October, she used it as a tribute to those she had dearly departed. Each musical note served as a touching reminder, and every verse conveyed the affection she continued to feel for them. In 2012, she encountered a peculiar challenge that was different from the previous sorrowful experiences. A bizarre rumor surfaced online suggesting that Reba had passed away in Austria during a movie shoot. Despite the false news causing alarm among her supporters, she lightheartedly dispelled it by reassuring everyone of her existence, good health, and her unchanged personality. However, certain challenges go beyond mere gossip or widespread tragedy. Reba's inner strength was profoundly affected when her mother passed away, causing a level of emotional turmoil that was difficult to articulate. Her mother had always been her primary source of motivation, igniting her passion for music. Growing up, Reba and her siblings, Pake, Alice, and Susie, sang together, earning themselves the title of the Singing McEntires. Music, for Reba, was always associated with the support and admiration she received from her mother. Following her mother's death, she confided in her sister Susie that she had lost the desire to sing. It seemed like her reason for singing had disappeared along with her mother. Singing had always been something she did for her mother, and without her, performing felt meaningless. However, her sister reassured her that the music would come back, and her voice would not be lost forever. Eventually, her passion for singing returned. It was a gradual process, filled with sorrow and contemplation, but Reba eventually found the inner strength to continue pursuing her passion, all the while keeping her mother's memory alive with every song she sang. So what was her relationship with Bill Anderson? Let's find out. Whispering Bill Anderson. In order to grasp the essence of Reba McEntire's revelations about Bill Anderson, it is essential to have a deep understanding of the man himself. Bill Anderson is not just a composer who gifted country music with enduring lyrics, but also a singer who demonstrated that tranquility can be just as impactful as a storm. His understated fortitude influenced numerous musicians over the years, and when he and Reba finally crossed paths, their encounter of perseverance and serenity forged a remarkable tale that was well worth the decades-long wait. Reba had always been known for her skill in evolving and adapting, all while staying true to her origins. When she eventually opened up about Bill Anderson in a significant year, her words had added significance. They were not mere thoughts, but rather reflections from someone who had meticulously chosen when and how to disclose aspects of her life. Just as she had changed her professional path numerous times, she now decided to adjust her own story by revealing truths linked to a man whose impact had always been nearby, albeit unobtrusively. Bill Anderson, also known as Whisperin' Bill, possesses a nickname that may seem lighthearted, yet it represents a truly impressive and long-lasting journey in the realm of country music. His approach to singing sets him apart from his counterparts in the industry. While others tend to belt out tunes with loud vocals and distinct twangs, Bill opts for a softer, almost chatty style, as if he were casually conversing with you and disclosing something intimate. Rather than trying to dominate the crowd with his voice, he opts to create a sense of intimacy, pulling his listeners in and making them feel like they are part of his world through a gentle and authentic demeanor that few can rival. Originally from Columbia, South Carolina, and brought up in Georgia, Anderson never intended to make it big in the country music scene. He initially aspired to pursue a career in sports journalism. Enrolled in the journalism program at the University of Georgia, it was in his college days that he started composing music. Initially, it was merely a pastime, a method to articulate emotions. However, that uncomplicated hobby eventually altered the trajectory of his existence. In 1958, Ray Price recorded his song City Lights, which quickly rose to the top of the charts. This unexpected success catapulted the aspiring journalist-turned-songwriter into the limelight before he even pursued a recording career. Bill had already left a lasting impression that demanded recognition. His career took off unexpectedly, and in unique ways after that. Unlike other celebrities who rose quickly and then disappeared, Bill's talent lay in his writing. He emerged as one of Nashville's most reliable and adored songwriters. His words had a knack for conveying deep emotions that resonated with many, yet still felt profoundly personal. His music had a lasting impact on individuals, even though subtly. Throughout the years, his compositions were performed by legendary musicians such as Connie Smith, George Strait, Kenny Chesney, and Brad Paisley. With each rendition, his lyrics took on a new meaning through different voices, underscoring his ability for timeless storytelling. However, Bill was not satisfied with staying in the background. He decided to step into the spotlight as a recording artist himself. With his soothing voice and calm demeanor, he rose to the top of the charts with hits like Still in 1963, earning widespread recognition. While his peers focused on belting out powerful vocals, Bill stuck to his trademark gentle style. Rather than getting caught up in the competition, he carved out his own unique path. Fans connected with his soft-spoken delivery, as it conveyed a profound truth that resonated more deeply than anything else. Anderson's journey is remarkable for its endurance. As the longest-standing member of the Grand Ole Opry, he is deeply connected to the roots of country music. While others have fallen by the wayside or lost their relevance, Bill has remained a steadfast presence, preserving the traditions of country music while also embracing its evolution. He serves as a bridge between different eras, embodying the history and soul of the music. Apart from his musical talents, Anderson extended his charisma to the realm of television as well. He served as a host for game shows and made frequent appearances on diverse entertainment programs. His affable nature endeared him to viewers, who saw him not only as a performer, but also as a relatable individual. Amidst a competitive and ego-driven industry, Bill stood out for his modesty. He remained consistent, modest, and benevolent, avoiding the pursuit of fame or controversies. The moniker, Whisperin' Bill, did not solely refer to his singing voice, but also symbolized his demeanor, understated, respectful, yet unforgettable. Reba McEntire, who emerged in the country music world generations later, had Bill Anderson deeply ingrained in the industry she was joining. While they may not have been in close proximity, his music, his standing, and his subtle yet enduring influence were constantly present as she climbed the ladder of success. When their paths first crossed. In the realm of country music, paths of success often run parallel without intersecting. Reba McEntire and Bill Anderson seemed to have career trajectories that never converged. While Reba was struggling to establish herself in the industry, Bill had already established himself as a respected performer and songwriter. His music had already become ingrained in the fabric of Nashville, while she was still striving to make her mark. Reba joined Mercury Records during the mid-1970s, but she did not experience immediate success. She encountered challenges, including inconsistent support from her record label and singles that did not propel her to fame. As she tried to establish her presence in the industry, Bill Anderson, a highly acclaimed songwriter with a long list of accomplishments, was already a well-known figure. Although his own music career had peaked earlier, his impact continued to be significant and consistent in the music scene of Nashville. Their initial meaningful interactions commenced behind the scenes at the prestigious Grand Ole Opry. Reba found the Opry to be a daunting platform, filled with history that placed a burden on all artists performing there. On the other hand, for Bill, the Opry was a place of belonging. Being the longest-standing member, his presence represented consistency in an ever-changing industry. It was within the busy dressing rooms and hushed hallway discussions that a mutual admiration between them started to develop. Those who were present during that period recall Reba's attentiveness in the initial evenings. She not only concentrated on her own act, but also paid attention to the experienced performers nearby. She took note of the demeanor of Bill, who was always modest and accessible, providing words of support to aspiring artists in a humble manner. This subtle guidance held significant value for a novice like Reba, who was still trying to find her place in the industry. They met again at the Opry in writing groups and during TV recordings. In the 1980s, Nashville was a tight-knit community, unlike the huge industry it would evolve into. Instead of working in offices, Collaborations often began in living rooms, where songwriters came together to exchange ideas. Bill's music was a constant presence in these gatherings, resonating through discussions and performances. Reba, recognizing his talent for storytelling, appreciated the artistry he infused into each lyric. Reba's career took a significant turn in the 1980s as she joined MCA Records and collaborated with producer Jimmy Bowen.
You can't seem to lose if I'm not that to the heart of you.
This led to a more modern and impactful sound that resonated with fans. Despite her quick rise to fame, she remained grateful for her humble beginnings, the individuals who influenced her, and the valuable lessons she learned. Bill Anderson was among those influential figures. It should be mentioned that the strong relationship between Reba and Bill did not originate from performing duets or writing songs together that gained popularity. Their connection was built in more subtle ways. Recognition does not always require public attention. It can develop through small acts of kindness, through offering encouraging words at the right moment, through simply being together in the same place. Reba has frequently mentioned that observing others influenced her in profound ways. Bill's understated yet unwavering support provided her with a blueprint on how to sustain a career in the industry while still maintaining humility. The intriguing aspect of their relationship at this point is the secrecy surrounding it. Very few fans were privy to these interactions. In contrast to the public friendships and collaborations that were constantly in the spotlight in Nashville, Reba and Bill's mutual respect remained hidden from view. This element of secrecy may have added to the significance of their bond. Their connection was genuine, not just for show. The gentle heart behind the music. Bill Anderson is often associated with the nickname Whisperin' Bill, reflecting his soft-spoken demeanor and relaxed presence when performing. However, his quiet charm extended beyond the public eye and was evident in his gentle demeanor and genuine kindness, establishing him as one of the most honorable figures in Nashville. Reba McEntire noticed and admired this aspect of his character even more than his undeniable talent for songwriting. In the world of country music, there is a constant drive to succeed, compete with others, and maintain popularity. Many artists put on a facade for the public, but Bill stood out for his genuine kindness. He selflessly supported younger singers and songwriters, offering his time and advice without any ulterior motives. Bill may not have been the most outspoken person in a crowd, but his words resonated with truth and sincerity, making people pay attention when he spoke. Reba recognized in him a balance between character and talent, both of which she considered crucial. She believed that success was insignificant if it did not include kindness. Observing Bill further reinforced this belief. Despite his esteemed reputation, he never sought to dominate others with it. Rather, he supported and empowered them. Bill would frequently allow newer acts who were still trying to establish themselves to share his dressing room at the Opry. During songwriter gatherings, he preferred to listen rather than speak, providing valuable advice that enhanced the quality of others' work. He treated everyone with equal respect, whether they were staff members, stagehands, fans, or fellow performers. His unwavering integrity left a lasting impression on a young Reba as she navigated the challenges of the music industry. What was their relationship? What link held them both together? Let's dive into it. A quiet respect between Reba and Bill. When Reba McEntire eventually opened up about Bill Anderson in her later years, she was not just focusing on his numerous accolades or accomplishments in country music. She was delving into something more profound. She sought to pay tribute to the person beyond the public image, a person characterized by modesty who demonstrated to her and others that authentic greatness is not determined by trophies or commercial success, but by compassion. Celebrity status may diminish, awards may collect dust, but the way you treat others is what endures indefinitely. For Reba, this was the essence of Bill Anderson that she wished to cherish, the individual whose compassion outweighed his renown. In a city known for fierce competition and larger-than-life personalities, authentic admiration between two iconic figures is not commonly displayed in public in Nashville. Reba McEntire and Bill Anderson have silently recognized each other's talents for years, avoiding the need for grand gestures or attention-seeking behavior. Their connection is rooted in genuineness, steadfastness, and a mutual respect that transcends the need for public validation. Upon Reba's arrival in the world of country music, Bill had already established himself as a seasoned songwriter, performer, and regular presence at the Grand Ole Opry. Throughout his career, he navigated the evolution of the industry, dealt with the demands of fame, and emerged with his respectability intact, showcasing the longevity of an artist who remains true to their essence. His example served as a source of stability and resilience for aspiring musicians. Reba took note of this and appreciated Bill's commitment to authenticity. his refusal to conform to popular trends, and his unwavering dedication to his principles. However, the feeling of admiration was mutual. Bill found his own reasons to hold Reba in high regard. He observed her journey from a young performer at rodeos in Oklahoma to becoming a prominent figure in the country music industry. Not only did she excel as a singer, but she also ventured into acting, business, and various other facets of entertainment. Her strong work ethic was something that truly impressed him. Instead of merely entering the limelight, she carved out her own path. Throughout her success, she remained true to herself, retaining her values, heritage, and identity. Bill viewed her unwavering strength and independence as qualities that were uncommon and greatly worthy of admiration. They frequently encountered each other at various events in the music industry, such as the Grand Ole Opry and television shows, but they never felt the urge to publicly display their mutual respect. In a city like Nashville, known for rumors, competition, and attention-grabbing collaborations, Reba and Bill chose to stand out by letting their work speak for itself. They chose to keep their admiration for each other behind closed doors, adding a sense of mystery and significance to their bond. Their bond was special because of the contrast in their time periods. Bill emerged from a previous era of country music, characterized by straightforward narratives and mellow shows. Reba, on the other hand, emerged during a period of fusion with pop culture, expanding its reach beyond the usual audience. Despite these disparities, they found common ground. They both valued modesty, they both cherished their fans, and they both upheld the traditional essence of country music while being open to evolution. In private conversations, individuals frequently discussed the affectionate way in which they addressed one another. In public interviews, Reba occasionally mentioned Bill's impact, while Bill would sometimes praise her hard work and ability to transform herself. These instances were spontaneous and genuine, lacking any artificiality or exaggeration. It seemed as though both of them understood that their admiration for each other was authentic and did not require an audience to validate it. So what did she say about Bill Anderson in the very end? How did the world perceive it? Stick around. When silence turned into words. For years, Reba McEntire's supporters pondered over her sentiments towards Bill Anderson. They observed the subtle interactions whenever the two crossed paths, the way her gaze softened at the mention of his name, the respectful gestures during interviews, and the whispers within the country music circles about a possible connection between them. Nevertheless, Reba remained tight-lipped all those years, leaving room for speculation to grow. When she made the decision to break her silence, everything shifted. Reba, who had achieved many successes throughout her life, revealed a side of herself that had never been seen before at the age of 70. Her words were deliberate, methodical, and carried the weight of years of experience. It wasn't just the content of her speech that left an impact, but also the timing of her revelation, making it a moment that would not be forgotten. She recently marked a significant birthday, which typically prompts individuals to reflect on their past. She had reached a point where she no longer needed to demonstrate anything. Her professional life had already been a tale of great success. She had received numerous Grammys, performed in packed stadiums, touched hearts with her music and acting, and established a legacy that would endure beyond her lifetime. Now that she had accomplished so much, her voice exuded a newfound sense of power. It was no longer driven by ambition, but by authenticity, remembrance, and heritage. When she discussed Bill Anderson, it wasn't just a fleeting mention or polite gesture. It was intentional. It was sincere. It was a decision to release the silence at last. Her words were uncomplicated, yet they carried more significance than any elaborate speech ever could. She described Bill not only as a prominent figure in country music, but also as someone who had subtly influenced her own path. Although her tribute was not extravagant or filled with theatrics, it resonated deeply with everyone who heard it. Reba had cultivated a reputation for her unwavering courage and self-sufficiency over the years. People admired her ability to persevere through challenges and maintain her composure. Despite usually projecting strength, in this instance, she revealed a softer side, letting her vulnerability show. She opened up and expressed gratitude towards someone whose impact on her life had been significant, even if not frequently acknowledged. Bill Anderson found Reba's words to be more than just kind. They held significant historical value to him. While he was already considered a top-tier songwriter in the realm of country music, her heartfelt tribute added a new layer of honor to his long and prosperous career. Reba's acknowledgement carried weight not just because of her own influence in shaping modern country music, but also because it came from one legend to another, without the backdrop of cameras and publicity, but simply out of genuine respect. The response from the industry was immediate. Reba's honesty was praised by her colleagues. Supporters were appreciative that she vocalized what had long been suspected. Observers noted that her declaration went beyond honoring Anderson. It symbolized a connection between different periods of country music. It served as a reminder that the music of the past continues to influence the present, guiding the way for today's artists. The delay had a sense of timelessness to it. If she had expressed those sentiments in her 30s or 40s, they might have been dismissed as mere pleasantries. However, articulating them at the age of 70 lent them a profoundness that only comes with the passage of time. These were not mere compliments, but rather thoughtful reflections born out of a lifetime of experiences, shared only when her heart deemed it appropriate. She also confessed an important revelation. She had never verbalized these emotions before. This one admission spoke volumes more than all the conjecture that had circulated over time. It indicated that her admiration for Anderson had long existed, hidden away in silence until the opportune moment arrived for it to be expressed. Fans may have desired to hear it sooner, but the prolonged silence enhanced the impact of her words. The postponement only served to intensify their significance. Reba's tribute at the end went beyond just honoring Bill Anderson. It served as a demonstration of the power of recognition. In a society where commendation is frequently vocalized, her subdued words carried more weight. They illustrated that admiration doesn't always require constant affirmation. Genuine respect often lingers silently, waiting for the perfect moment to make the greatest impact. What do you think about Reba McEntire's confession? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more celebrity gist. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.